Hey there, I'm Patrick Franco. We're gonna look at Prasarita Padottanasana, which you might know as a wide-legged standing forward fold. Such a great pose. It's a standing pose. It stretches and strengthens some key components of the body. As the name suggests, it does have a wide-legged stance. So it stretches the feet, the ankles, like all standing poses do. It stretches the hamstrings. And then because there's a big forward fold from the standing position, it lengthens the side of the trunk, all the muscles of the back, as well as the spine. Now, again, because it's a standing pose, it also strengthens some key components of the body. The feet, the ankles, the legs, the quadricep muscles specifically, and the hip flexors. And the torso is basically in a relaxed position and the legs are doing all the work. So let's go ahead and take a look at this pose now. The feet are gonna start the same as a lot of the standing poses we looked at, 3.5 to 4 feet wide. The difference is this position doesn't change. Once you get your feet 3.5 to 4 feet wide, we wanna make sure that the outer feet, so the outer heel and the pinky toe side of the foot are parallel to the outer edges of the mat. And then from there, I press my heels down and I lift my inner thighs, my quadriceps up. So my legs are very, very active. My glute muscles are also active. We do start in a position where once the legs get active, we want to lift and lengthen the chest. Now, I'm trying to maintain this, but I do have to fold forward. So there is a stage 1. And stage 1 is when my fingers touch the floor, where I basically have a chance to do 2 things. Maybe I can widen my feet a little bit more, because that is going to help bring my head closer to the floor. The second thing it does is it allows my chest to one more time lift and lengthen as my legs straighten. So this is stage 1 of Prasarita Padottanasana. Stage 2 then is to keep the legs active and engaged and allow the torso to relax. The abdomen relaxes, the palms flatten, and the head comes down. Once the head comes down, the hands can move back in line with the feet or as close as possible. If the head comes down, the last thing we try to add is to lift the shoulders away from the ears so the upper back spreads. While I'm here, my legs are doing all the work, my abdomen and torso is relaxed, but my palms are pressing down and my shoulders are lifting so that my neck is nice and long. This is a great pose to prepare for Shirsasana headstand. To come out, we walk our hands back out, stage 1. We narrow the feet so that we have an easier time standing up. I can bring my hands to my hips, press my heels, and come up. So that is Prasarita Padottanasana, wide-legged forward fold. Now, a couple things that we might see when practicing this pose. The main one is it might be difficult to bring the head to the floor, and that is totally okay. You can work on this pose even if your head doesn't come to the floor. And one thing that we can do to raise the floor up if our hamstrings are tight is to put our hands on blocks. So let's look at 2 alternatives. The first one is to use blocks. And we, again, have 3 heights for the blocks, high, medium, or low. So we can alter them as we go. But the leg position will start the same. The outer feet parallel to the outer edge of the mat. The legs straighten. The chest lifts. And then we come into stage 1. And now, instead of bringing my hands to the floor, I have this ability to use the blocks, which is wonderful. And then I can breathe in here. And as I breathe out, I keep the blocks where they are, and I can just bend my elbows and allow my head to relax. Now, I don't really need the blocks, so my shoulders might look like they're lifting. So I am gonna lower the blocks for myself. But even if you're using the blocks and your head doesn't come to the floor, you still want to lift your shoulders away from your ears so the back of your neck can elongate. We can lift our head, narrow our feet, hands to the hips, and come up. So the blocks are a great way to bring the floor to your hands if you're having a hard time keeping your legs straight as you bring your hands down. The other option is if your head is almost near the ground and you have the ability to fill the space between the floor and your head, well, you might use a bolster or even a blanket. And so you can put the bolster or blanket inside your perpendicular to your yoga mat. And you'll start the same way. Outer edges of the feet parallel to the outer edges of the mat. Heels down, nice straight legs, lift the chest. And then we come forward for stage 1. Hands down under the shoulders. I can widen my feet, which I'm doing, because that'll bring my head closer to the ground. And then I lift. And then as I breathe out, the head can come down. And now I can maybe walk my hands back. I can allow my head to rest, and I can lift my shoulders. So you have a few options. Classic position, the head is on the ground. If the head doesn't reach the ground, we can use a block, which is a great choice because it fills the space. Or if you're struggling keeping your legs straight and touching the floor, well, then you can use those 2 blocks to lift the floor to your hands. So that's it. Wide-legged forward fold, Prasarita Padottanasana, and we'll see you on the mat next time.